momentous day. We're just moving all the diggers out and dumpers out because what we're now setting up for this week now, we're going to start clearing the ground floor, getting it ready for the underfloor, because next week, by Friday next week, we'll be pouring the 75mm liquid screed and it'll be absolutely perfect. So we've booked that in with RS Concrete now. We've got the installation landing tomorrow. Just going to make sure it's going to be delivered, and then we're just going to have a bit of a talk through what needs to be done next week, so we make sure we hit our target dates. So basically what we're doing at the moment, as you know, getting the digger in and out of the scaffolding because of the height of all the rails and the ledges. We've had to take the canopy off now. We're just putting the canopy back on, but one thing we noticed is some of the holes have got a load of crap in it, so we've used the OB1 Penetrating Oil, and it's been absolutely brilliant actually to get it all cleaned out, cleaned down. Now everything seems nice, silky and smooth now. It's given us loads of lubrication to get the in. So all I was going to do is just get these in loose for now, Pete, and then we can tie them up and then can't we? Yeah?
What state are your threads in?
Not too bad.
These are a little bit hefty.
It's a lot better now, it's all cleaned out with the OB1. Might be better just put a little socket on that, mate. What size is that, 17mm?
17, yeah.
Yeah, so if we get the 17mm socket on, it'll actually be able to wrench it and trying to get a spanner in. It's a bit tight, isn't it, mate?
Okay, so over the last couple of days, me, Alex and James, we've been putting down the insulation, 150mm deep, a layer of 100mm Celotex and a layer of 50mm. We've put the damp-proof membrane down, the DPL is what we like to call it. We've got our conduit in for our wiring and our hot and cold feed for the sink in the central hole. So me and Nev are now going to start going to the technical drawing room. We're going to mark out all the cabinets where all the oilings are going, stud work, etc. So we know where we're not to lay the pipe and where we can lay the pipe. So it stops any potential for screws going through the pipes and all the rest of it. So we're just going to crack on with that. So that's the next stage.
Hey, good morning guys. We had the liquid screed poured on Friday, did an amazing job. What we also did is, obviously you can see, we've got hot and cold feed here. They've used a pipe called main core, that's what Chris uses at the moment. So that's the hot and cold feed to connect into the side here. We've also run a tube through here so the electrician can drop a cable through here, run it underneath and then pull it all through the side here. And what we've been doing is marking out all the stud work with the client yesterday, getting it all ready because it doesn't take long to put stud work up, as you know. And what we're going to be doing is this section here is going to be made up of 9x2 and then 2x2 on the face, which will allow us then to be a service board, then running all the relevant soils in, so we can obviously then distribute them, getting them into the actual main foul run. So you can see this was all marked out here. I'm really pleased with the liquid screed. It's turned out beautifully. Now what's going to happen here, we're going to actually make the stud work up, but this side of this, you can see how wide the stud is. Look guys, look how wide it is. Now this is going to be the actual frame, how it's going to be made up, and then inside here we're going to then make this bookcase, make it adjustable shelves inside, and then we're just going to have to slip it in and then frame it with a concealed plasterboard bead. It gives you like a shadow line all the way around instead of putting architrave around it. The client wants a very seamless connection between plaster and the bookcase, and we're going to do that, and then put a bit of lighting in the bookcase in here. The other thing, come over here guys, and what we're going to be doing here is we've actually got stud work going here. We've actually made it slightly longer than the actual drawing because the way it'll work, it just means that we can get a better basin in here. And then what we're going to do on this section, a sliding door, we're going to put a sliding door here, but on the end of this stud work that goes all the way up to the ceiling, we're actually going to do this nice seating, make the seating area, and then put matchboard into the back of it, and then put some coat hooks on it. So basically as you come in from the back garden, you can put some shoes, declog yourself, take your coat off, instead of then going to the front of the house So it just makes a better working room really. And then obviously this will be the main side door entrance coming through here, and this is where the downstairs toilet's going to be. So it's really worked out really well. Really pleased with it. Obviously we've got a slightly deeper 8x2 in here because obviously we've got a cage, a wall hung toilet in here. So really pleased. I mean, it's come together brilliantly. I mean, the lads have absolutely smashed it out of the park. I was away last week, just having a bit of a holiday, a bit of a downtime. So, but I'm super happy where we're at. Really pleased. All we've got to do now is smash the rest of it out and get it cracked out, get done, on to the next job. I'm going to be making this stud work up here. You can see how the actual main frame is going to be. So what I'm going to do is put the sole plate going on the bottom, because always whenever you're doing timber work, you always put a sole plate in and a head plate in first. So I'm going to do all that and then put all my uprights in, ready then for this bookcase to then slip into. Let's get on. The reason I'm doing this one slightly longer, I don't want to put a small piece in there, just trying to give it a bit of extra strength. What I will do is get myself a tub so I can put my rubbish in. There you go. That's lovely. Now what I'll do is I'll cut 2 of those because that'll do up there. This is why I do like using laser levels. Pete's lined this through. Great idea, isn't it?
Yeah,
love that. And they always use green inside, red on the outside. So I didn't know that until I watched the video some months ago. So what I do is I try and minimise the amount of times I use the tape. So I've just done that from the layout here. Got it here again. So 2 pieces the same, 1 for here, 1 for up here. So that's that one. That weren't bad, was it?
This is why I love this level.
That one I cut there, it's going to go up there now. So you can see it's a little bit out.
Just going to find out where that is.
I think it's probably on this side here. What I'll do is I'll put a spacer in here and a spacer in here.
Just so it's in, it's pushed to do, get a couple of screws in it, job done.
I'm just getting all the dust off. So I'm going to grab all of this down now.
As you know guys, I love my OB1 stuff, and I love the company because you know what, they're supporting the youth of today, and that's massively a big passion of mine, guys, you know that. And the same with a lot of us really, we know that we've got to get the youth of today into construction
because we're
such a shortage of construction workers. But anyway, so this is OB1 Grab. This is absolutely brilliant, so strong, I absolutely love it. And the other thing is I always use it on the outside slabs and sticking vertical points in as well, so I'm just going to start sticking this down.
The reason I'm sticking this down, guys, is I don't want to be drilling into the floor because I've got underfloor heating going through here. And yes, we could have run the pipe through, but the problem is the client didn't know what size they wanted this bookcase. This stuff grabs that strong, and I've just come in an inch, and I suppose I could use less, but you know what I'm like, guys, I'm a bit over the top. There you go, that'll do. So what I'm going to do now is to put it all back together again, because once it's in, it's absolutely crazy how strong it is. I'll put that one up there, and this will stop everything drifting. There we go. Line through my pencil lines. There you go, look at that, guys. It's like a little jig in it. What we'll do is I'll just give it a tap, really spread it. That's lovely, that's it, boom. Right, on to the next phase. I'll cut all these in one hit, and then I'll put them all in. Job done.
Okay, so for on the next stage of our stud work, I'm just about to glue the sole plate down. I'm using the OB1 Grab adhesive, really good stuff, really strong, good versatile thing. Not just an adhesive, but I think a sealant as well. You can use it as a filler. So anyway, I'm just going to run a couple of lines down here, staying away from the uprights, which are going to create the doorway. So I'm just going to crack on with this. Make sure I get it a good couple of inches away from my line. There's one. Right, so as you can see on this side, we've got a waste pipe coming up. Now, anyone will probably notice this is massively oversized for a stud wall, but the issue we have is we're going to have a waste coming down from the upstairs bathroom, and this is just a great way to lose it. We didn't want any ugly boxing in, you know. A lot of builders, they may have just gone with 4x2 and then just put a little right angle on it, but obviously doing it this method, it means that you get that seamless finish, which we're always going for, so that just explains that. Okay. If you lift that out, tap that down, go to the outside line, spot on. Just make sure it's just most important thing, we just line it through with the external of this, isn't it? And what I'll do, just while the glue goes off, is get myself a wedge, and I'll just stop it from going anywhere while I'm knocking it around for the uprights to go in. That's where the doorway opening is going to be. So I'll just laser that up, right up to the header, and that'll be good as gold.
I've done a measure, and every one of these timbers that's going to go in here is 2491, which is really nice, so don't have to do different measurements. It's all absolutely millimetre perfect. Now, one thing I have done, just to give you an idea what I'm doing, I've got to put a bookcase in here, so I've got to think about how I'm going to fix the bookcase to the Studwork. So I'm going to go here, that'll give me a good fixing in the side here, but then I'm also going to put a timber here, because then the other timbers where the bookcase pushes to is going to be the other way around like that. So that means when I push this bookcase to the back here, I can actually get a fixing in there, but then also I can get a fixing in here. So that means I've got 1, 2, 3 points of contact of fixing, also one in the middle if I want one, but it's just making sure the sides are really well secured because the amount of load that's going to go onto it, because they're going to stack this full of books. This area is going to be a bit of a snug and a reading area. So right, let's crack on. Got tape, here we go. Proper tape. First time I've ever seen these, it was with Dan Cox, working with Dan Cox. And he was doing a film for Skill Build, a good old Rog. Check out his channel, really great channel, Skill Build. And I seen Dan using these when he was showing Roger how to do some rafters, and thought, what a great bit of kit. Went online, found them, boom, that's it. Never look back, always brilliant in a bit of kit. And you get them from Max Minster's Tools, that's the cheapest place. Now the one thing I do is I always cut my timber slightly longer, and then what I'll do is make sure the cut is nowhere near a knot. You can see I've got a knot here, and the reason I cut it past it, because then when I get my screws in, or even if you're nailing it, just makes it easier, because we all know trying to screw or nail a knot is a nightmare. So I need to drop this down a bit. So what I always like to do, I always like to create a production line. Just check the first one when you get it in. I've noticed, look, this got a load of sawn here. So I'll make sure whatever that size is, I'll cut it over here. When I spin it, then I'll take that off. So I'll make sure this timber is regularised to the proper size. So 500 paths, so whatever this measurement plus 500. So it's say 2941. So if I cut it at 3.5, there you go, it'll get rid of that sawn up there. Now what I will do is actually, I'll start spinning them straight away, because then when I drag them onto the saw, they'll actually be ready to go. This will be 3 meters. I'm just checking there's no sawn crap up there, no splits. I want 2.9, so I'll go 350 on this one. Not a bad bit of timber actually. The reason I'm spinning the timber is I'm cutting off any bad splits at the end, but then also I like to make sure I've got a nice clean cut both sides. The reason I'm doing it is because like here, that timber there, look, when I threw it on the table, it's really veiny here, and that's not the right size. It's quite a bit different, so I've got that much to cut off to get a really nice nominal size up there, the correct size. And what I do is I always like to, whenever I'm doing something, I like to try and do it in a mass production way. So I just wouldn't cut a timber, put one timber in. I'd actually measure them all, then cut them all in one hit, then put them all in. Now, sometimes if you've got loads of different lengths of timber, you just mark all the sizes on there. And there is a great machine that Robin Clever actually did videos. Check out his channel, really good channel. And you can ping it up to there and it just does loads of measurements, but I've never bought one of those, too tight. I ain't got as much money as Robin anyway, so literally all I've done, and this is all the measurements here are all equal, so happy days. So right, let's crack on. The timber, really firmly like this. I don't like do that. I always get my hand around it like that. And the other thing I don't do is I don't put my hand anywhere near there. It's always here somewhere, always holding it. And sometimes I move the bed, say if it's like that, I'll just move the saw and then hold it in. So now I'm ready, got a fresh, nice new cut up there. So 2491, so 2490. The other thing is that I don't bury my screws. If you bury screws, it's a nightmare to get them out. I'll put all my screws in a bit. I don't need to put them in at the moment. Just getting on the uprights here. Got 2 more to put in. I'll put a base in here, and the reason I'm going to put a base in is because I want the skirting to come, once this is flat, I want the skirting to come through and all around. And what I'll do is I'll put like a nice clearance above the skirting, a plaster, and then the actual bottom of the bookcase can then come up to that plaster line and a nice like shadow line detail. This special bead that we're going to buy to do that, but when it's done it's going to look so good, so good. Right, let me just start fixing these now. Now on the pencil line out here, going to tap it that way a bit, that's it. Now what we'll do, because this is breeze block, I'll actually screw and plug it, but this is to hold it, stop it drifting for me. Oh, I've got to, Phil, if you're watching this video, lovely mate, absolutely brilliant, look at that. Beautiful and plump, bang. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's lovely, but you can see it's also here. See the bow? So what I'm going to do is I'll get a timber in between here. So I'll measure what that is there and I'll increase it by that much. Just to get absolute spot on. Because this material is slightly wider than this stuff and I don't want it bulging the plasterboard. There you go. Tone, why have you put these noggins here? Now, if you've ever plasterboarded, you always end up having to put a noggin here. Well, not everybody is like this, so all I'm going to do is plasterboard up there, I'll put another piece of board in there, across there, that's it, job done. So all I'll do is just put some SES bits in that. I'm really looking forward to making this bookcase and showing you. I think it's going to be some lovely details in this that you guys are going to really like, because the client knows on the back and put some kind of LED strippy at the side to illuminate the bookcase, and I think that's going to be really, really cool. So yeah, let's watch this space and we'll crack on with it later. So what I'm using is brown plugs with a 7mm SDS. What I always do is, if ever you're fixing a piece of timber to a block wall, drill it with the SDS first, the depth and required depth I want. Tap my brown plugs in. Now, sometimes, you know, when you put a plug in and a screw in, sometimes the screw will just keep on spinning. And the reason being is that when you drill the hole, you have to sometimes expand the plug. And what I do, it's a bit of a tip I always do, once I've got my brown plug tapped in, you actually spin the screw in the plug just to open up a little bit, make it a little bit tighter. Not too much though, so I can't knock it through. But it does make a massive difference. Don't have to do it always, it's just I find if it was concrete I wouldn't have to do it. And then I'll literally, and you can just feel like I've got really positive now bit. There we go, done that. There we go. Nice and solid that is now. So I've now finished the Studwork for the bookcase, that goes rock and roll. What I will do now is I start working on this downstairs cloak room. I was saying earlier, the reason we made it slightly longer, we've now got slide mechanism which I'm going to show you how to knock up. I think these are really, really great systems, the clips, really easy to do. And what we've done is we've purchased some ironmongery, the soft close mechanism, and then the satin black inlets that go into the slide, but really, really nice. So we'll show you through that whole process of how we do that. We've got to make the Studwork here out of 8x2 coming all the way across. I've noticed looking up straight away, I'm thinking, right, I can only get a mechanical fixing on that joist, and I could obviously get a fixing in there and a fixing in there. So what I will do is, because of the size of it, it's not huge, but I can then, I'm going to actually put another timber in here and another timber in here. And the reason being, it just means I can get that head really well secured and fixed in place. With the two fixings here, two fixings there, and then a couple in the middle, and it'll keep it nice and solid. And then obviously the mechanism that goes in here will run all the way straight across, and I can set it. But there's the Studwork coming out to this point here, and then the other Studwork is coming out to this position here. What I might do is run the sole plate to there, to this point, and then actually run the 4x2 there. I've just got to see how it all works really, to what opening size this is actually going to be. So